Hey guys, welcome to book review number 14. Well, enjoy this a little bit. Ooh, that's good. We're waiting. Well, as I said, welcome to book review number 14. Today I will be reviewing Keep Australia. Ooh, it's up here. Keep Australia on Your Left. True story of an attempt to circumnavigate Australia by kayak by one Eric Stiller. Well, anyway, what this book is about is it's about an American from New York City who decides in the last throes of his father's, I believe the name is Kepler canoeing business, or, oh man, I totally made that mistake, kayaking business, which he explicitly mentions the difference in the book. Sort of the last throes in New York City, decides to go for a home run ball and I guess sort of create publicity or just sort of create a monumental event for the shop for himself by funding a trip to completely circumnavigate Australia. And in doing so, he met, it's primarily financed by a supermodel, I believe named Tony. Tony something. Well, you know, Tony, who sort of financed the trip or co-financed the trip, was just sort of like a Sydney Playboy model that modeled in Europe, but kind of also had this sporting adventure side as, you know, the young wealthy bohemian class might. So anyway, they kind of train up for this in New York City, and kind of some successes, some failures, a lot of unknown to what this trip will actually hold. So it gets all financed, and Eric flies out to Sydney, I believe about a year after this is all planned out, and they begin their journey. Now, what I really enjoyed about this book was not really the I enjoyed the adventure side of it, but the adventure side was expected. The side of crashing big waves and dealing with the elements and all of those things. But what I really found interesting was his commentary on small town life up the eastern coast of Australia. Now, spoiler alert, just by the pacing of the book, you can tell about a third of the way through it that, or even maybe halfway through it, that there's really no chance of them circumnavigating Australia. They fell out around the city of Darwin, in which case they gave up their trip, which of course means that the majority of their experience had to do with the more populated areas of Australia, and of course that's a relative term. We're talking about small town coastal Australia on the east coast. Okay, I want to make sure my sync was still in place. Sorry about that. This video camera is quite jank. We're running a professional operation here. But anyway, you know, the chokes, which would be like the chicken that they would get in the local shops along the coast, just in small towns or whatever. And just those sort of lesser experiences in the sort of larger picture of the book really created a human feel to it, where it wasn't just like these super robots going around the whole of Australia. Of course, as I mentioned, there's plenty of harrowing tales of dealing with riptides and nighttime landings and nighttime rowings and just the wearing of living in a person or living with a person in a kayak for an extended period of time. Well, yeah. Do I have anything specific to say? The book was a little bit wonky in terms of the Kepler canoe, but I felt like maybe it was justified in terms of, I don't know. I mean, it didn't take up a large portion of the book, but it was noticeable just how much the author talked about the intricacies and the detailed work of the Kepler, and really kind of how that projected itself in the book itself. He kind of set that all up towards the beginning when they were planning the trip, is just the toll that the boat, the kayak took in the circumnavigation. Of course, what I want to say, they took a toll. Well, I guess that goes into the adventure aspect of it. Really, I'd say you can tell that I've got my points down here. The greatest toll, obviously, they took was going from the Torres Straits, which are on the north of the York Peninsula in the northeast part of Australia, and they actually, up until that point, followed the coast, but cut across the ocean, sea technically, on open water to get from the Torres Straits to the top end, which is where Darwin is at. It was really the most harrowing story of the book. You can just tell by how harrowing it was that in the more remote regions, like the Argyll or the Pilbara, or even the west coast of Australia, or the Australian Bight, between Western Australia and Adelaide, that really this journey doesn't stand a chance. It had been done once before, but with support from land. This was the first attempt to circumnavigate Australia without, and then what I mean by support from land is obviously these guys landed, but they didn't have any cars following them around the country to supply them, I guess is what you'd say. So this was the first attempt, and you could just tell it was kind of failed. But it's not in the destination; it's in the journey. I would just, I don't really have a whole lot to say about the meta ideas of this book. Certainly, it wasn't a political book by any means. I mean, there was maybe a couple things about, I don't know, the modernization of Manhattan or something. But what it really did was just kind of tell the emotive feeling of this rare journey that very few people would even fathom, you know? As you can see on the cover, they have pictures from all the different areas. You know, the beautiful areas of the Queenstown coast, which, or the Queenstown coast, the Queensland coast, which is, of course, the area of the Great Barrier Reef and all of that beauty. Okay, well, I guess I don't really have a whole lot more to say. I would recommend this book. It can become a bit monotonous at times, but I feel you do get an insight into both the struggles of these people's personal lives as well as what I said in the beginning of small town coastal Australia and just the odd assortment of people, be it they, fishermen or resort owners or, I don't know, just back to nature people, as well as, the few cities that are along the area. You just get a good kind of general picture of that area of the country and just the people in that area in general, as well as the isolation of sort of, okay, whew, man, I was trying to wrap this up, but clearly it's not wrapping up. So, geez, you get a good idea of the people by the nighttime stops, by the coastal landings, by people that they would meet to simply resupply them with the sustenance of food or the shops or whatever. But then again, you get the emotive feeling of being out on the water with Tony, just, stinky, seawater coming in, completely sunburned, waves trying to overturn your boat, just all of that stuff in general. Okay, so I'm going to actually try to wrap this up now. So it was a good book. I would highly recommend it. I'm going to show it to you one more time. There you go. Oh, that's the backside of it. Yep, there you go. Keep Australia on Your Left by Eric Stiller. Alright, folks, highly recommended. I love Australia and I love this book, so check it out. It is good. Yep, alright, see you later. Keep subscribing, keep viewing the videos. Alright, bye.